Hey y'all,
Hey y'all.
What's up? This is El Presidente.
this is
You
your boy, gospel icon, my Harold Peoples Jr.
It's Lady, also known as Leah, and you're now watching.
And you're listening to Speaking Plain
in
English.
the speaking plain English with your host Roberta.
Your beautiful host, Roberta Johnson.
With my homegirl, Roberta, on Praise.fm.
On Praise FM.
On Praise FM.
Hey, hello, happy Saturday. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Speaking Plain English. I am your host, Roberta, and I am excited about this topic today. Aren't I always excited? Because the thing is, a lot of the topics that we discuss are enlightening, and they actually end up helping me, and I'm finding out that they're helping others as well. So I'm excited about that, if nothing else. Before we get started, I'm going to do my greetings, which is I want to say first of all, thank everyone for tuning in, and I want to welcome our YouTube audience, welcome Facebook, welcome Praise FM, welcome Roberta's recommendations. Hey, welcome. Hey, Lady Rain. Welcome. Who am I missing? Welcome. The audio only podcasters, podcast listeners and viewers. And if I missed you, I didn't miss you because I'm including you too. So welcome. And I am so glad to be able to come up on here today. This week has been very exciting. Last week and this week has been exciting. Yes, I see. Yes, you guys are at No Lab Praise Fest. We'll talk about that in just a minute. I hope you guys are having a ball. I'm sure you are. So again, look, before we're going to do the announcements and all of that first, such as if you are a Black author, business, or hey, Carlene, a Black author, business owner, or an artist, I would like for you to, or if you would like to, if you fit any of those categories and you would like to submit a project or a body of work or an idea or a song or something, anything that you want to share, and you would like it advertised on here, feel free to reach out to us, and I keep saying us. Well, yes, feel free to reach out to us, and we'll be sure to get to you. Also, if you are in any of those categories, and or either you don't have to be, but if you have a topic that you would like to discuss, if you would like to become a guest on the show or anything such as that, then also reach out, and then we can you can either comment here, or you can leave a message, or you can email at doyh.marketing@gmail.com, and then we can get you in. All right. I'm open to all topics. When I say all topics, I mean all topics. The whole purpose of Speaking Plain English is so that we can not just talk about things, and I'm going to reiterate this over and over again. Not just that we can talk about things that not a lot of people like to talk about, especially in the Black community and the Black and minority community and the church community. I want to talk about it all, not just limited to that, but that's the bulk of what we're doing here. Not just to discuss it, not just to talk about it, not just to, complain or anything like that. We want solutions. We want solutions, and we want to be able to find ways to bring awareness to certain things so that things can be done about them. You know what I mean? Um, what else? What else? What else? What else? Before I get into the last part, I think that is it. Oh, also, if you want to shout anybody out for anything and make it really special, like if there is an anniversary or somebody has a business that they started, or graduations, or birthdays, which I like to call earth entry anniversaries, or wedding anniversaries, or engagements, or any of those types of things, anything that anybody wants to announce, and you want it done in a special way, or if you just want to shout somebody out, just to make them feel, that they're loved and that they are seen and that they are cared for, because sometimes people need that. um Feel free to let me know during the week, and we'll get something really cute together for you and make that happen. Okay. All right. So speaking of which, I know I had a whole episode on it last week, but I don't care. So as far as the Earth Entry anniversaries for this week, me, I was on mine. My 42nd was on this past Monday. So happy birthday to me. Happy Earth Entry anniversary. Happy Grand Central Earth Entry anniversary to me. And speaking of which, I don't know if you guys saw the photo shoot that I did. And I'm gonna make this brief. I did a photo shoot at Grand Central Station specifically for this celebration. And shout out to my cousin Parrish DeBerry, who was the photographer. I promise you, my family is talented. You hear me? My family is super talented, super talented, super talented. And that's not all he does, please. He does music, he raps. Like when I say rap, I mean he actually says things that make sense and it causes you to think. So it's not mumble rap. It's stuff that actually has substance. Okay? So he makes tracks. He's a photographer. Like the dude is, and he's a gamer. He's a brainiac. He's a brainiac as well. So shout out to Parrish for um making my pictures look as dope as they did. If you didn't see them, go check my page out, and they should be there somewhere, not too far. But I find myself looking at them daily. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not even gonna lie. The last time I did a photo shoot for myself, thank you, Carlene. Yes, this is his. You'll find him on. Oops, you spelled it wrong. It's all things capital. You missed the N. That's Carlene's son, by the way. And shout out to Carlene as well, who was Carlene and Empress and Princess, who were all there to assist with the. She did my hair, like she styled my hair. Shout out to D from Academy Fades and Braids, who keeps my locks twisted and keeps them right and keeps it right, keeps it tight. Thank you so much for your help. And I'm just blessed, y'all. I'm just blessed with so many amazing people. Again, so many amazing people. There we go. That's how you can find them. That's Parish's Instagram page. And I think YouTube as well, right? YouTube as well. Okay, so not only me, this is my birthday this week. Also, oh my Lord, there was a couple this week, but today, my cousin, what? Today, my brother. I'm talking about my brother, my youngest brother, the amazing, the great James K.S. Johnson. His Earth Entry anniversary is today too. I was going to say his age. He's 40. Ain't nothing wrong with that because he don't look 40 either. Just like I don't look 42. So I'm so proud of him, and he's not on social media at the moment. So, but if y'all know him, y'all know him. And that's all I'm going to say about that. If y'all know how amazing he is. And I'm not just talking about as a musician. Like he's just dope altogether. He is an amazing husband. He is a minister, an amazing minister. His memory is impeccable. Like he's one of those people who remembers things. Like if we always ask, like if we're having like family discussions and we're trying to go back down memory lane, which happens quite often, and we want to know like, dang, do you remember such and such, or do you remember when this, that, and the third? If he was born, he remembers. Like if he was 2 days old, he remembers. I may be dragging it just a tad, but maybe not, because I have to ask him. He might even remember being born. I know somebody who actually told me that he remembers being born as well. So I'm like, that sounds like James. So therefore, it's like I said, it's his birthday today too. So happy Earth Entry anniversary to you as well, little brother. Youngest brother, for the fifth out of five from my parents. Um, Sade Williams. She was also one of our guests as well. She's the author that wrote the book that I have this doesn't have me. So if you scroll back, she is one. She had an episode on here as well. She came here as a guest as well. So happy Earth Entry anniversary to you, my dear. I love her. She's such an amazing woman. And you guys have got to get her story, hear her story, and get her books. Plural, yes. All right. Okay. So now that we've got all of those out the way, there was one more thing. I am so sorry. So, being that Lady Rain is right now, she is at Praise Fest at New Orleans. There is one thing that I wanted to also add. If you don't know what Praise Fest is, it is an independent artist. It's an independent artist showcase, and it's kind of, I want to kind of say it's touring. I guess you can say that. Um, or it's being planted in different areas. They had it in the Bahamas. Hi, Mama. They've had it in the Bahamas. They had it in Jamaica. They had it in Florida. They had it in Vegas, and now today they are in New Orleans. And so, is that did I pronounce it correctly? New Orleans, whatever. Y'all know what I mean. They in Louisiana today, okay? But they are. I'm sure that they are. Their Praise FM. The Praise FM crew is there, and I'm sure they are having an amazing time. If you keep a lookout onto the Praise FM page, I'm sure they will be going live at some points. And I will also be posting it here as well in case you can't see it. All right. So with that being said, we are going to be having a Praise Fest in New York. I'm going to give everybody all the details. Yes, that's exactly what I was just about to tell them. Yes, I am working on getting it done in New York. We are just putting some things into place and getting all the details together. And once that is solidified, what I will be doing is I will be putting out some information so that any of your if you are an independent gospel or inspirational artist and you would like to be a part of the show, then what I'm going to do is we're going to have you submit your information and submit your music so that we can you know what I mean, so that we can see we can bring you on. All right. And you don't necessarily have to be in New York. You can be anywhere, honestly. Because I'm sure we're going to have some people who are flying in from different places. I'm not going to give any names of anybody just yet. Once the flyer is done, the flyer will be done, and then you know what I mean? We'll talk about it then. Okay. I already spent enough time on that, but again, I'm excited about that too. There's just a lot going on. So wait, I'm gonna do this, and now the reason why I'm gonna do this is because I can, just like I did last week. I was gonna wait, but I'm like, I'm not gonna wait. I'm not gonna do it. So one last Earth Entry anniversary that I am going to shout out today. It's tomorrow, and I understand that I do the Sunday to Sunday. I mean the Sunday to Saturday, but again, this is my show, and I can do it if I want to. So my baby girl, my big girl, my firstborn, Liberty McKenzie, she is going to be 12 tomorrow. And I'm not going to do this. It just, every time I think about, I take a minute to just think about that whole process, the process of my pregnancy with her. And the fact that she's here and just as amazing as she is, oh my goodness. Both of my kids, my son too, but we're specifically talking about Liberty because her birthday's tomorrow. But God is just amazing. That's all I can say. God is just so dope. All right. So yes, y'all say happy birthday to my baby girl. And yeah, we're gonna do this again next week. So in case you you didn't get it in today, it's okay. Because we're gonna do it again next. I'm gonna shout her out again next week. Okay? Okay. So today we are talking about topic is cultivate their gifts. And what actually made me want to speak about this and talk about this is again, like I said, last week and this week was a pretty busy week for mainly for my two children, because they were able to have their debut in acting. So just a brief story. I want to say, I think December. I want to say December. Um, yeah, I believe it was December. My son started to, I heard he said something to me about wanting to start acting. And I'm like, you know what? I said, he asked me, he said, Mommy, can I start, can I be an actor? I want to be an actor. Can I be an actor? And I'm like, I'm sure you can. Yeah. So I was like looking into some things. I wasn't searching diligently, I'll put it like that. Um, but what I did, I did look at some things and I didn't see anything that was, that was doable. I'll put it like that. Um, because there were different academies that I saw, but they were out. I was looking at like Dream Academy, but I'm like, that's in Florida, isn't it? So there were just other things that I was looking at and thinking about, and it just didn't seem to, it just didn't seem to work out. So I didn't put it on hold, but I like how did I say this? I I wasn't diligent with it. I'll put it like that. Hey, cuz I wasn't diligent with looking. You know what I mean? But I was still, like looking here and there. And then someone asked me, have you thought about taking, Liberty and Jeremiah to get headshots for like and get them into acting? And I'm like, that's crazy that you would say that because Jeremiah was just telling me that he wants to get into acting. And I think Jeremiah, he said this to me, like Jeremiah said it to me like a couple of times. And then a friend asked me this like the following week, I want to say. And so I asked him, I was like, what made you, what made you say that? What made you think that? What made you ask that question? And he was just like, I can just see them doing it. And so I'm like, all right, that was the fire. I'll put like I was the fire that was lit under me to like really, really, start searching. And I promise you the next day what I did was I sent a message because I know a guy who teaches acting classes. And not acting, I'm sorry, dance classes. So I sent him a message in his Facebook Messenger, if to see, where he did his classes and if they had acting classes there. He never got back to me, but I want to say either that, I'm not sure if it was that same day or later the following day. I happened to be scrolling. Right, Ma. Exactly. Exactly. So I happened to be scrolling on Facebook and I saw a ad for Newburgh Performing Arts Academy. Shout out to them, who had a flyer for it says, Susical Junior. And I'm like, this looks something interesting. This is like something that, and it's right near me. So I'm looking at the details and they were telling, it says that the first rehearsal was the following day that I saw the flyer. And I'm like, oh man, I hope I'm not too late. But then I thought about it. I'm like, okay, let me try at least. So I sent them a message on Facebook. Um and I'm not sure if they got back to me later that evening or if it was the following day. But I want to say, I believe it was later that evening they got back to me. But I was and it just happened to be Jeremiah's birthday weekend, as a matter of fact. I'll put it like that. So and the classes started at, because Jeremiah was still 7, so the age group was from 8 to 12. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to let them know that he's going to be 12, next in the week, during the weekend. So, I mean, not 12, but 8 next weekend. So I'll hopefully, and I was hoping that it wasn't too late. Cause at first I was like, maybe it might be too late. But I'm going to try anyway. So I went and I put it in. I asked them and they got back to me. Like I said, I believe it was that evening. And they said, yeah, bring them in. And they told me how much it was for registration, and that I could also apply for a scholarship for him. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So, and then I asked my daughter, I asked her, I said, did you want to, do acting as well? And she said no. And I'm like, okay, no problem. So I wasn't gonna push her. So I took Jeremiah. Matter of fact, I told him that was actually his birthday gift. That was a surprise that I had for his birthday, was I'm going to get him started with acting classes. He was through the moon. He was through the moon. So I took him there. We did I paid the first month's fee because I didn't know whether or not, like they would get accepted for the scholarship. So they said you have to pay the first month's fee plus the registration, which was exactly how much I had. So I had just enough to do what I needed to do for that day to get him in there. He had a ball. He had a ball. And so I'm like, all right, since I see that he likes it, and I figured he would, filled out his application for the scholarship. And no, I didn't even finish filling it out. I brought it with me. I forgot why, because there was some information that I needed to get that I didn't have on me. So I brought it home so I can fill it out and bring it back the next time. So Jeremiah went home and he told Liberty how much he enjoyed it, how much fun he had. And so she was like, can I do it too? And I'm like, absolutely, yeah, of course. Oh no, I told her, I said, I'll have to see. I didn't say, yeah, of course. I told her, I'm not sure. We'll have to see. Because like I said, I had just spent everything that I had on his registration fee. So I'm like, all right, Lord, so we're gonna have to figure this out. But I brought her, and they said, let her try, let her go. And I'm like, okay, so I let her go and she loved it as well. So I'm like, okay. And I said, well, she wants to do it too. And so I filled out an application for both of them for scholarships. And thank God they both were accepted. They had full scholarships to do this show and to take these acting classes. And I'm grateful for the whole bulk of it. When I tell you, I'm grateful. I'm so grateful to to be able to hear God and see his handwork. I'm grateful to have people that also are tapped in enough and hear God's voice as well to make the suggestions. And I'm just grateful to see how like how I was able to do this. You know what I mean? To cultivate, and that's where we're getting this from, cultivating their gifts and paying attention to what it is that they're capable of, paying attention to what it is. Mainly, I'm not just talking about kids, but because adults as well. Because sometimes some of us start late in life. You know what I mean? Sometimes we have things that we have in our hearts that have been placed in our hearts for years, and for whatever reason we push it to the side, or we don't make time for it, or we feel like we're past our time. But I'm here to tell you, if you're here, if you're still breathing and you're still able, then you can still cultivate your gifts. It may take a little longer. It may take a little, you know what I mean? But at the same time, it still can be done. It can still be done. And what I'm going to say is that I admonish you, if you have a burning gift, if you have a talent, if you have something, a burden, I guess you can call something. I've heard it say like a burden, something that you feel like you just have to do, something pressing. Whatever it is that gives you joy, you know what I mean? if it's something that you are amazing at, that you're great at, and that you feel is your is a passion for you, go for it. When I say go for it, I mean like go for it with all of your might. Go for it with all of your might. Start from the very beginning. Start, and I'm about to get these kids. Start from the very beginning. When I say, if you even have to do the research, if that's your very beginning, do the research. Our dreams are not as far off as we realize. And I really wish that I learned that, or I recognized that earlier in life. Because if that was the case, then there would have been so many things that I already would have tapped into and would have been flourishing in even. But I just thank God that, and this seems to be a theme. This seems to be a theme that has been going on, like redeeming the time, because that was actually so funny. I actually asked God for that. I asked God to to redeem the time that I lost not doing what it is that I really enjoy doing, not doing what it is that I was put on this earth to do. Give me those years back, restore those years, and give me the energy and the creativity and all of that to be able to do it and do it in excellence, because that's what we want to do. So that's part of what we wanted to talk about. I'm going to take a break for just a second, and we shall be right back.
Tangible Hoa Paris, get ready for Praise Fest NOLA, coming to Amite, Louisiana at the Greater Refuge Temple Ministries, 1005 Northwest Central Avenue, Amite, Louisiana. This event is being brought to you by Caesar Boys Entertainment in conjunction with Praise.fm. Hosted by Ricky Ricard of Double R Enterprises and E.J. Giroux. Special guests in the building, Raven, Trent Gaddison, Danielle Stevens, Joel Jones and 3MC, Pastor Sid J, William T. Stars, Adriana Munnings, Malik Oliver, Darryl Thomas, Ontario Showers, Sickerson, Janora Brown, and the GRTM Praise Team. Also, we'll be honoring Minstrel Appointed, founder of the Spin Awards, Mr. Doug Jackson of Unique Sounds, and a very special honoree. Red carpet begins at 6 p.m. and showtime begins at 7:15 p.m. This event is free to the public, so make your way down to Greater Refuge Temple Ministries, 1005 Northwest Central Avenue, Amite, Louisiana, where we plan to go up. In Jesus' name, hope to see you there. Be blessed.
All right. So yes, that is today. That is actually happening today. That is Praise Fest New Orleans. NOLA. Sorry, they have it called NOLA. Praise Fest NOLA. That is happening today, this evening at 6 p.m. at, I think it was called Greater Refuge Ministries. So if you are anywhere near the area, get yourself there. Like they said, it's free to the public. Y'all can come in and enjoy some amazing gospel and inspirational artists. And, get a little bit away from the mainstream. I'll just leave that there. All right. So now part of okay. So what I was referring to as far as like, as far as the show goes, as far as the, like the acting and everything that the kids did. So like I said, that was in January. That started in January, and they did their show. It's called Susical Junior. They were actually casted. I actually have some of them on my page as well. Some of the show on my page as well. But these two, I'm not even just going to say these two. Not just my two, but the whole cast. The whole cast did an amazing. Whole cast of kids. They were kids from 8 to 12 years old, and they were absolutely amazing. The crazy thing is, the funny thing is, and shout out to Mr. Andrew. I don't remember his last name, but shout out to Mr. Andrew, who was the director of it all and worked so well with them, with all of the kids. I actually I peeked in to some of the rehearsals, and especially like the last couple ones. And I was able to hear how he, spoke to them. I'm gonna say this: anybody who anybody who is able to work with children in any capacity, and do so, um how can I say this? All right, anybody who is able to work with children, especially, well, all kids have different personalities, but if you're able to like get them and excited about doing something, excited about a project, excited about a performance, excited about building their craft, and pulling out of them, um not even just the teachers of the arts, not even just teachers of the arts, but in general, anytime that anybody is able to see the potential that a child has, even before they may even really see it, and is able to kind of pull that out of them, I shout you out, and I appreciate you. I appreciate y'all, because it's easy to just be like, okay, you know what, forget it, go sit down somewhere, or kick them out of the show, or just say this is not what you, since you don't want to, since you're being in this particular way, we're just gonna quit. I thank y'all for not quitting on these kids, because they can be very energetic, and sometimes they can be stubborn, and sometimes they don't want to do the work involved. But those who are able to see that, and see that once they finally get it, how amazing that they could be, and still continue to work with them, seeing through that, it means so much. It means so much. So shout out to, like I said, all of the instructors um, that do this. You know what I mean? Like I said, the director of the play, Mr. Andrew. I'm going to shout out my best friend, who is Liberty's guitar instructor. Y'all know him as Gypsy, but I call him Corey. Shout out to him as well. That even today, like, just teaches my daughter, and is able to pull out of her, the awesomeness that she has, because she's got it. She's got it, and she can pick it up. So, and then he sees what she can do when she applies herself, and it's an amazing it's an amazing thing. And anybody like my brother James, shout out to him as well, who I remember when he was younger, how he would be teaching the kids how to play the drums and things when he was younger. And my brother Jamel as well, who was also a teacher of, was able, like, a lot of times people sit around, and my brother-in-law Kenny, um, who also does that at church after service, he spends time with the youth, and he teaches, he shows them how to play. Just, I appreciate all of y'all. I appreciate all of you, for taking the time to do that. And I'm sure it shows the kids, and I'm starting to get emotional, because it shows the kids that somebody actually cares. You know what I mean? And they'll remember you when they're older. They'll remember you when they're older. One thing that I remember my father always saying, and James can attest to this, and Jamel as well, my sisters and my mom too. One of the things that my father says, matter of fact, he still says it every so often. He remembers saying it to my brothers, and he'll still say it every so often, that what you learn, teach somebody else. So if you have a gift, if you have a talent, if you're skilled to do something, don't hold that. You know what I mean? Don't hold that in. If there's somebody else who can learn from you, teach them. If there's somebody who's interested in doing what it is that you're doing, and that you do skillfully, don't hold on to that. And the sad thing is that that needs to be said, because some people try to gatekeep. Unfortunately, some people they feel like they're grant. First of all, they feel like the gift came from them. Let us remember that every good and perfect gift comes from God. God is the giver of all of the gifts. You hear me? God is a giver of every gift. So anything, any skill, any talent that anybody has, you ain't get to do it yourself. You did not do that yourself. You didn't create it yourself. So if you have that skill and you have that talent, especially if you're extremely, gifted in it, teach somebody if they want to be taught. Because at the end of the day, you're going to leave here one day. You're going to leave here one day, and what you want, I would think that you don't want your, you don't want that to go with you. You want to leave it inside of somebody else. You want to plant that seed in somebody else so that they can continue that on. You know what I mean? So that's the basis of this whole conversation today. Is cultivating, the potential that, especially like I said, mainly kids. I'm focusing today on kids because of the show that I saw, and all the gifts and the talents that I saw just this last week. Because the show was last Thursday, and then they had a recital with all of the musical theater kids this past Thursday. So 2 weeks ago was the show, and then last week. Last week was the Susical Junior show, and this past Thursday, day before yesterday, was the recital. And I have to say that they did so well. They did amazing. One of the things that I forgot to mention that I was thinking to mention was, as far as Susical Junior goes, first of all, the cast, in order to have every part casted the way that they needed it to, they needed to have 16 16 cast members. They were working with half of that and still made it work. And it was the cutest, the way that they did it. And they did, like I said, they did their thing. I'm going to, like I said, I think I have, they did amazing. And I want to say, Jeremiah played the Cat in the Hat. And Liberty he played Cat in the Hat in one of the Who's. Actually, he played the Cat in the Hat, one of the monkeys, and or the Wickershams, but it was a monkey. They were called the Wickershams. There was 3 of them, but he used puppet. They had to use puppets, but those were extra lines that he had to learn. What else? And one of the Who's. Yes, one of the Who's as well. He ended up playing. So that was, all of those parts, that was, that he had to learn, and he had to, be on cue and all of those things. And that it takes a lot of practice. Like I said, they practiced from January up until last week. Okay. Twice a week. The last 2 weeks, 3 times. And Liberty played Mrs. Mayer. She played a bird girl. She played one of the Who's too. So also 3 parts. Again, also parts and lines and songs and positions and everything that needed to be, you know what I'm saying? So they can do it. They can do it, and they did an amazing job. So also, for the recital last week, there were some people from the Poughkeepsie Performing Arts Academy, and these kids, not just but the whole group, the whole perform musical theater group from both places were absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. There was this one young lady, I have to find her name again, but she did my favorite. Those of you who know me, my favorite movie. I haven't seen the play yet, but my favorite movie of all time is The Wiz. And I would love, and that's one of the things that I really want to do. I'll just put it like this. I'm going to put that out there. I'm going to go see The Wiz. on Broadway. They're out now until August, I believe. So before they leave, I'm going to go see The Wiz. Yeah, I'm going to go see The Wiz. I'm going to go see The Wiz. Just like I'm going to go see Michael Jackson the movie, Michael Jackson, MJ the musical. Still haven't seen that yet, but I'm going to. And if I don't get to take both of them, I'm going to if I don't get to take the kids to both of them, they're going to come with me to at least one of those. So whatever the case may be, I would love to take them to both. Um, but we'll see. We'll see. Whatever the case may be, I'm going to see both, and I would love for them to see both too. So that's just that on that. But at the end of the day, like I said, there was a young lady who did she did Home from The Wiz, and I don't know how old. 16. Did they say she was 16? I think she's six. Yes, she's 16. And it was her first time, doing any type of, any acting or anything like that. And she did so well. She did so well. I was so excited. I had never seen this young lady in my life, but she did an amazing job. So once I find out her name, I guess I'll put it in the comments, but it's on the program, so I'll find it. But whatever the case may be, they had what's called the Broadway babies. And this is what I mean. This is what I mean. These babies were 2 and 3 years old, either 2 and 3 or 3 and 4. Whatever the case may be, yeah, ma, she did. They were really young, 3 little girls who not only had the opportunity to be given parts and things to do, like given dance moves, but they were able to, they were taught or given the, I don't want to say the responsibility, they were given the chance to kind of make up their own things too, right, Ma? They were so cute. So their dance, they did because another thing that I love is the Muppets. So that song by Kermit that Kermit usually sings, the Rainbow Connection. Why are there so many songs about rainbows? And what's on the other side? Da, da, da. Someday we'll find it, the Rainbow Connection. The lovers, the dreamers, and me. Na, 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 da, da. Okay, I'm done. But I love the Muppets too. So yes, they did that one. So they had a dance that they had to do to that one, and then they did another little thing where they matched colors with the colors of the rainbow with no with emotions. They made like they did different moods, right? They took different colors and they expressed how the colors made them feel, and they came up with them themselves. So it was how the color made them feel. For example, the color red. I just happen to remember that one. It's my favorite color. Um, so they said the color, was red, and I forgot, they each had they had a move that how it made them feel. Um, and then they said red is for anger or something like that, and then they did a move for anger. And oh my goodness, what else was it? It was how the color made them feel. It was an emotion. Oh my goodness, it was the color, the emotion that they associated it with, and one other category. There was 3 things. But it was so cute, and I love the fact that they were able to um come up with the moves themselves. You know what I mean? Like they were a part of creating the choreography. It was just so cute, and it was I love that idea. Sharisa, jumping on real quick to wish Liberty a happy birthday. Ah, Lib. Sharice said, happy birthday. She said, love you always, and she's forever proud of you. She said, thank you. So they did that. Thank you, Sharice. They did that, and it was the cutest thing. And there were, like I said, there were so many other. It was just refreshing. It was very, very refreshing to be able to see all of these kids, just come out and perform. It was beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. There were monologues. I think they said that the ages ranged from 2 to the recital I'm talking about, from 2 up until 18. Was it 18? Or no, 16. Sorry. 2 to 16 was the age range for the whole musical, theater. So I'm ecstatic, and to see, one, that the arts are, first of all, being well represented. They're still being they know that people know, and people are seeing how music and arts are um are important. You know what I mean? It's not, yes, I understand that some people feel like it's just a extracurricular activity, but at the same time, these are things that, like, so their kids have a lot of creativity in them. Not just kids, but they start, you know what I mean? It's a good thing to start kids, start out and see what it is and pay attention to them, to see what it is that they are drawn towards. You know what I mean? We should be doing that anyway. But some are drawn, are extra excited about, like, math, and some are extra excited about technology. Some are extra excited about like, even games. My son is an avid gamer. Like, he loves games, and he's a gamer to the point where he's actually, like, going back to old school games, like Tetris and Sonic the Hedgehog and Duck Hunt. No, I don't think he did Duck Hunt, but Burger Time, Donkey Kong, all of these, like, he's been finding himself looking at, like, old school cartoon. The boy is his thing. His thing is always going to be Sonic, but he's been watching Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles as of late, and I'm like, what you know about this, man? So it's a beautiful thing to be able to see how excited, and and not just because this is something that they're interested in watching, but he's also interested in learning how to create these things. So if you have a kid who enjoys, I don't know, if they're interested in science, you know what I mean, if they're interested in um like history, you got so many things that kids, that you can take what it is that can sometimes be annoying. And I say annoying is, and the reason why I say annoying is because I remember when Jeremiah was two, 2 or 3, and I expected this. I expected it because I remember when my brother used to do it. Um, he would pull out the pots and pans. Um, and this is before he had actually really, really seen an actual drum set, mind you. Um, so he pull out the pots and pans, and I remember there was a chock full of nuts. If anybody had, what the big chock full of nuts canister looks like, he'd use that and put that, and he would position everything. He had bowls, like, not, but like plastic bowls. He would set everything up on the floor as if he was playing a drum set. And the crazy thing about it is he knew where each sound was supposed to go. Like, the canister, the chocolate nuts canister, he put it in place of where a cymbal was supposed to be. Um, he would put, like, a bowl, one of the like a tub, like, the big ice cream bowls, or was it the ice cream bowl, or was it the ice cream tub, or the smart balance. It was the smart balance bowl he used to put in place, like in the middle as like a bass drum. Like, he would have everything set the way it's supposed to. And it was just amazing to see him. He would take pencils or some things, and sometimes it can sound like noise. Sometimes it can be, an annoyance. Like, when I say an annoyance, like, sometimes they're talking a lot about it, or it's they're talking a lot in general. Um, and it can be like, okay, yeah, go sit down. Okay, okay, I hear you. But if we take the time to actually pay attention to it and cultivate that and hear what they're trying to say and what they're trying, where their interests are, and learn that you can see that their gifts and their talents are in that. And that can be career for them. You know what I mean? If I didn't even get into acting, I didn't even get into athletes, I didn't even get into being a lawyer or a doctor, people who like taking things apart, you know what I mean? So, or learning how things work. Things like that can tell you once once a kid, what a kid is interested in, so that when they get older, you can kind of like, okay, you can see how you can start them, in things like that, in cultivating that. Because at the end of the day, what we need to realize, and I'm going to say this and leave it there, sometimes they are interested in things that we are not. I'll put it like that. Sometimes their gifts and their passion and their goals are things that we have no interest in at all. So what most people would love is for and what a lot of people try to do sometimes, as far as parents go, are try to instill things or push their kids to do things that they wanted to do, and are trying to kind of live vicariously through our children. And they don't always go in that direction. And we have to be okay with that. We have to be okay with that. You are the owner of a store. I'm trying to think if it was a show or something. Oh, it reminded me, what comes to mind is the second Space Jam. Um, the one with LeBron James. So I used to take your dolls apart and your lamps. You take the dolls apart and lamps. Oh my goodness. See, it was very interesting to see how things are made. There's actually a show called How Are Things Made. But in this movie Space Jam, the second Space Jam, LeBron James, basketball player, he had a son who he was trying to push basketball on. Like he wanted him to play basketball because that's what he did. And he wanted, most parents, and rightfully so, want their kids to follow in their footsteps. And there's nothing wrong with that. However, that's not what his child was interested in. His son was interested in technology. His son was more interested in learning how to create games. And so he actually created a basketball game. You watch How It's Made, Ma? It's a good show. He took something that his father loved and thought that, okay, since this is something that my father loves, maybe he'd be proud if I actually created a game made of something that he made, that he loves doing. So it was kind of like taking his passion and doing something that his father could be proud of. And I mean, he tried to tell his dad, like, listen, I honestly don't really care too much about basketball like that, but I love creating a game. Hey, Jules. So she's like, he was trying to say, like, Dad, I'm not with it. I don't really care about playing the game itself. But I created a basketball game, and I want you to see, and he did all of these types of tricks and things, and that the players, like he created it from scratch himself. And that's not an easy thing to do because there's a lot of coding involved in that. So his father LeBron really didn't pay that much attention to it until um, they ended up having to battle each other per se. But anyway, that's what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say that sometimes we are not what we want and what we wanted to do when we were younger. A lot of the things that we desire to do, maybe we may not have gotten to, or something that we were very interested in, or we're great at, or something that we accomplished, and we want to pass it down to our children. sometimes that just isn't going to happen. And we have to learn how to be okay with that. We have to learn how to be okay with that. And look and see what it is that they are they're good at and that they're geared to. And I tell you, it's you'll see once we really pay attention, we'll see how they blossom. We'll see how they bloom and how they grow. And it's just a beautiful thing to see. And so I'm proud of my two, and I'm proud of all of those kids as well. Um, and again, like I said, thank you to everybody who takes the time to cultivate um, the gifts and the talents of kids. Not just kids, but again, but I'm mainly focusing on kids because again, like I said, we can take that as well once we're adults and start cultivating our own gifts and talents as well. Thank you so much for meeting here. Absolutely. I'm so glad that you are enjoying Praise FM, Jules. I'm so glad you're enjoying it. And I want you to stay tuned on to Praise FM because if I don't know if you're anywhere near New Orleans, but if you are, they're actually having a live event today. So once I end here, or you can even look on the Praise FM page, there is a show called a artist showcase called Praise Fest that's happening. That's going to be happening this evening. So if you're anywhere near there, try to find yourself there, and it's free. If you're not, then I would say stay tuned to the Praise FM page. Okay, no problem, no problem. Matter of fact, where are you located? Because maybe if we haven't already, we can find one near you so that you can attend. Because we're kind of putting them in different places. Like I said, the next one, not the next one, but we're going to have you having one in New York as well, and I'm excited about that. All right, guys. So basically, that was the end of what I had to say, and again, thank you so much, everyone, for chiming in and for tuning in. Oh, oh, okay. Hmm, nice. But so in that case, yeah. So stay tuned for when we're gonna have one in the city. All right. So yeah, we're gonna talk. We're gonna talk. All right, guys. So have an amazing, amazing, amazing Saturday. And I think that's it. Until next time. Bye.